I'm combining Amapiano and Afro house in one track. What's up everyone, welcome to another video, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create an amazing Afro house track. And I'm also going to use the new amazing Unison 808 machine, which is an amazing plugin where you can generate an infinite amount of unique 808 samples generated by AI. And I'm going to show you how to use this plugin in a project. So make sure to check it out, everything is in the description. So let's get started with this project breakdown. So for this project, first I'm going to show you the main drum layers. So I'm using a shaker loop and I'm layering it with another top loop. Then I wanted to just add an original element which contains some low frequencies. So I've added a sample chop from a random loop. So I normally wouldn't use a rhythm like this, but in this case I tried to just add something original. So next up we're adding a 4x4 kick, which sounds amazing and very clean, and that already defines the groove for this Afro house track. Then I was thinking about adding some high frequency, so I've added this head loop, where we're messing around with the velocity, so not every head is played at the exact same level, and I'm layering this layout just to add some more texture to the loop. So in this case, the Afro house drums start very simple. Then I'm adding another tom loop to add some more groove and rhythm, because in Afro house you just want to make sure the drum sounds as groovy as possible. So I'm using a tom and I'm pitching it at C and B, just to make it just a little bit more interesting. Very simple rhythm. So make sure to copy this rhythm or sequence into your project, and you will see in most of the cases it will work out very good. Then we're adding another tom layer. And as you can see, this one plays at a low pitch and it adds a lot of groove again. So those are basically the main layers for the groove, and right now you want to make sure you add a main layer. And in most of the cases it could be a clap, which is, or maybe a snare. So in this case, I'm applying this rhythm, which I really like. So let's have a listen. So again, I'm making sure I'm playing around with the velocity to make the clap loop as organic as possible. And then we're adding another random percussion loop, which are basically some wooden samples which are playing in the background. So as you maybe already noticed, this is the Weekend Too Late remix which I've created. And I've just added the acapella later on and made sure the chord progression goes very well together with the acapella. So right now let's move on to the first new layer, which is a keys layer. So in almost all of the Afro house tracks, a piano is used. And right now maybe it's getting a little bit boring. So I'm switching it up. So I've added another layer from the Stage 73V. And this preset is called the Dreamy Time Pad, which sounds like this. And this one is also used in a lot of Amapiano tracks. So that's why I picked this preset, just to make the Amapiano vibe in this track just a little bit more recognizable. So this is the chord progression. This chord progression is very complicated and advanced, but I want to show you some quick tips for creating a chord progression like this. The first tip is making sure to play around with the velocity again. So you're basically playing around with the brightness of every individual note. You can simply do this by pressing Option R, and I play around with the randomizer. You can also do this by selecting the notes. So press Command, drag down, select the notes, press Option, scroll up or scroll down. So this way you can individually tweak the notes. The next step is making sure not all the notes play exactly on the grid. So if you press a key on the keyboard or piano, it will be very unlikely you press all the keys at the exact same time. And that's something which we basically simulate right here. So let me zoom in. So as you can see, not all the notes play exactly on the grid. And in this case, I've created a 8-bar chord progression. So I've tweaked it. This chord does not sound exactly the same as this one, just to make it interesting and make sure it sounds organic. In the case, all the notes grip to the grid automatically. In your case, probably will be the case. You select none right here. So select a magnet and then select none. And then you will be able to move around the notes freely. So that's how you can tweak the notes. And to make sure it sounds clean, cut them right here so they will not extend beyond the first bar. So let's layer this chord progression with the drums and also the acapella. And as you can hear, the chord progression goes so well together with the vocals. I think in this case it's amazing, and the groove also goes very well together with the chord progression. So the next step is adding some low frequencies. So in this case you could add a sub bass or bass which contains some more mid and low frequencies, because the chord progression in this case contains some mid and high frequencies. So you want to make sure you add a good bass line which fits this track. So I'm using Diva and a sample from my upcoming sample pack, which is this simple bass, which sounds very, very analog. I think it's very, very cool. So let me turn off the vocal. So let's layer the bass line. Then we add another typical Amapiano element, which is this pluck. And this one adds a lot of groove. So I'm reducing the high frequencies. So those are basically the main elements for this track. So let me quickly show you the effects which I've used right here, or basically the transitioning effects, which are some Amapiano samples. So I've added a downlifter transitioning effect and a new effect from the Afro chemistry producer bundle. Those are some simple effects which are often used in Amapiano, and I did exactly the same right here. I've used a transitioning effect or a drum roll. So I've used more transitioning effects and a transitioning drum roll. So you can find all these samples in the Amapiano SF producer bundle or the chemistry producer bundle. So now I'm going to show you how to apply the 808 and use the amazing 808 machine from Unison. So right now I've added a 808 rhythm which is following the exact same root notes as the chord progression, also the same notes as the bass line. So let's have a listen. Sounds very distorted, sounds very cool, but in this case, it's just missing some low frequencies. And that's where the Unison 808 machine comes in. So this is the interface of the Unison 808 machine, and I think it looks very, very cool. So this 808 machine is generating a new 808 every time, so every time a unique 808 using AI. So there are basically infinite possibilities. So there are 5 different generation styles. So clean, dirty, lo-fi, unique, and aggressive. So in this case, we want to use a clean 808, but you can also use this plugin for creating dirty 808s for your trap beats, for example, or maybe create a unique bassline samples. You can create basically everything using this plugin. So in this case, let's generate a new sample. So basically press this button right here. So in this case, we're creating a clean 808, but you can easily customize this sample by using those parameters. So you could adjust the velocity sensitivity, you can make sure it's on mono or legato, and use the glide curve. For example, if you want to create some drill beats, for example, then we could very easily adjust the envelope of the sample. So for example, the attack. And as you can see, the sample automatically will adjust. We can adjust the sustain or the release. Then we could easily adjust the knocking sound. So for example, remove it and add some distortion by turning up the drive and adjust the tone. And also use this sidechain button to sidechain it from the kick. And of course, you could also easily adjust the glide. So when you've created an amazing preset, you could easily save it right here. So save the preset, so you could use it in other projects, or you could also drag and drop the sample into your DAW, or save it by using this button right here. And all the samples you've created with this plugin are 100% royalty free. So you don't have to worry about any royalties or whatever. So if you want to check out this plugin, make sure to check it out at the Unison website. So this plugin is out now. You can get it at a 50% launch price at $47. $6 and it's just a one-time payment. So don't wait too long because the regular price is $97. So I've used this plugin in a couple of projects and I really like it so far. So make sure to check it out. So right now I've adjusted the original log drum pattern and I've pitched up some of the samples. So let's have a listen. So in this case, I'm adding an amazing amount of low frequencies, which go perfect together with the log drum. And those frequencies are basically essential for creating a groovy log drum. So then I'm using 2 more head layers from the Essence Producer bundle, where I'm adding more Amapiano vibes to this track. And I'm adding another one. I'm also adding some reverb on the sample to add some more ambience. So next up, the drums were missing just another fine layer, so I've added another top loop. So the 808 and log drum sounds so good and I haven't even mixed it yet. And the final element which I'm adding is another sequence after 8 bars in the drop. And there's also a short plucky synth. So right now let me play you the final track. Added some more reverb to the acapella. Moving the kick right here. The way it sounds so good. So that's it everyone, I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to leave it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to check out the Unison 808 machine, the link will be in the description. And I'm definitely going to use this one in my future videos. So with all this being said, I hope you have a great day. I hope you create some awesome Afro house tracks or maybe Amapiano tracks. And I hope to see you next week.